Hello everyone, in this lesson we continue to study conditional statements, and next up is the switch statement. Thanks to the if statement you can build any conditions your heart desires, but there is a construction that in some cases can work faster than the if statement, and it's called switch. Look at this example. It should be clear to you. We have a variable, it's equal to 1, and we check its value in the if chain. If it's equal to 1, then this message is displayed. If 2, then this. If 3, then this. If any other, then this. Let me run the program several times, changing our variable so that you remember how it works. So, when you take a specific variable and check its value for equality to some number, then it's better to use switch. It will work faster in this situation due to compiler optimizations. If you need to check whether your variable is greater or less than a certain number or create complex long conditions, then switch won't work for you and you should use only if statement. I decided to show you examples in different projects so as not to clutter the main function in one file. So let's move on to the second project and look at the syntax for using our switch. You must first write the word switch, then you open parentheses and write either the name of a variable, or the name of a constant, or some integer literal, or an integer expression, or an enumeration variable. You don't know what enumeration is yet, it's okay. You'll understand what I mean in the examples. Then you close parentheses, open curly braces, and write any number of cases you need. For example, you want to check the value of your variable with 3 values, the numbers 10, 20, and 30. In this case, you need 3 cases. You write the first case, then instead of label 1, you write a number. Here you need to write only expressions that can be calculated at the stage of compiling the program, that is either constants or integer literals or enumerators. You don't know what enumerators are yet, it's okay. In our case, in the first case, we'll write the number 10, in the second, 20, in the third, 30. When the program reaches our switch, the computer will start checking the value of the variable or expression that you wrote in the condition field. If it's equal to 10, then these commands will be executed. There can be any number of commands here. Note that it's not necessary to write curly brackets inside the case at all. At the end of each case, there is a break operator. Thanks to it, after all the commands have been completed, the program exits the switch and continues to work according to the code. If you remove the break from the case, then if the commands of this case start to be executed, then the next case will work after them, and its commands will start to be executed, if there are any. And so, either until the moment when the program finally encounters a break, or until the moment when all the commands that you wrote in the switch are finished. But it may be that your variable is not equal to 10, nor 20, nor 30. In this case, as in the version with the if statement, you can do nothing or add the default label. It's triggered if no case label is triggered. It's equivalent to the else statement, and it's also optional. I rewrote the example from our previous project only using switch instead of if. Here I also create a variable and write its name here inside. Switch will check its value, comparing it with the values I wrote in cases. I want to compare the variable with the numbers 1, 2, and 3. If the variable is 1, then these commands will work. If 2, then these. If 3, then these. If the variable has a different value, then these commands will work. Let me run the program several times, changing the value of the variable. Everything works identically to our if statement, only a little faster. You don't notice the difference because the code is too simple, but it's there. Let's now remove the word break from the second case. I will change the value of the variable to 2 and run the program. What happened? Case 2 worked for us. This means that this command was executed first, but since there is no command to exit switch, this command was executed next. After that, break was finally executed and the program exited switch. If we remove all breaks, then see how the program behaves if we first set the variable to 1, then 2, then 3. Try it yourself. I also want to say the following. Firstly, you don't have to write break at the end of the command list in the very last case. Personally, I write it because it looks nice to me. Secondly, you can place all the labels in any order. The default label can be placed either at the beginning of switch or in the middle. Thirdly, you can have empty cases. You'll see when this is useful soon. Fourthly, a switch can even have one case, but I've never seen this in practice. Fifthly, you can't create a variable inside a case. I'll explain why in lesson 41, scope. I'll also tell you how to get around it there. Sixthly, you can only write in case those values that the compiler can calculate at the compilation stage. You can write the name of a variables here. If I write number, I'll get an error. Let's move on to the next example. Here I want to show an example of empty cases. We have a task. The user enters the number of the month and we must say how many days there are in this month. So first I ask the user to enter this number, then I create a variable, the user enters it here and we check its value in the switch. We have many months that have 31 days. We can write 7 cases and write these commands in each, but we will have a lot of the same code. And in programming, you need to write code so that it doesn't repeat itself or repeats itself as little as possible. So I can write this many labels and leave these empty. If the user enters 1 or 3 or 5 or 10, the program will immediately transfer us to case 12 because all the cases above are empty. If the user enters 2, we will get to case 2. If he enters any of these numbers, we'll see this command. If any other number, we'll get to the default label. Try rewriting this program using if statement and decide for yourself which code is shorter and prettier for you. But in this case, switch will definitely work faster. Well, let's look at the last example. Here we implement something like a game menu. I display the menu itself on the screen and give the user a hint that he needs to enter the letters S, O or Q. Next, I'll create a variable of the chart type. It'll store the character that the user enters. After entering, we analyze it. The user can enter either a lowercase or uppercase letter, so for each menu item we have 2 cases. I won't explain how everything works here, I just wanted to show that you can put other switches of ifs in a switch. For example, if the user wants to go from the main menu to the settings menu, then we display the settings menu for him. He enters the menu item again and we analyze the value according to the game settings in a separate chain of ifs. Here, there can be a switch and any other constructions. In the if statement, you can also put any other ifs and switches. So, let's summarize the most important things we learned. If you want to compare the value of some variable with constant values, use switch, because it's faster in 99% of cases. Of course, if you want to compare your variable with just one value or maximum 2, you can use if statement if it looks better for you. Switch was made to compare values faster than if statement. You can use integer literals, integer variables and constants, integer expressions and enumerations in the condition of switch. You don't know what enumerations are yet, but don't worry, I will record a separate lesson about them and return to switch. And that's the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching. I hoped I helped you a bit. If you enjoyed my videos, you can like this video, write a comment under it, subscribe to the channel, become a sponsor of my channel to get practice videos, or donate through the link in the video description. Goodbye.